Hi, traders. It's E from MarketWizards.com. About 10 minutes of 3 on Sunday afternoon. Just checking in here with a few notes before I head back to the pool. It is Sunday, the 5th of November, 2023. Reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. All right, I want to just focus on a gap chart. Let's take a look and see what we can see with some ideas we've got. We talked about the other day about this gap just about closed down here at the 14.2s. I have labeled these gaps that are open on the way back up. And we have closed other gaps that were there on the way back up that have now been closed, but creating new gaps. So these traders had to scramble to get out, and so that continues with that process, ebbing and flowing and knocking out stops and going in both directions. So this chart is a 15-minute chart, and we can see we've got a gap here that was on October 18th. And we're not quite there at the high on Friday. We're about 28, and that's at 42. So that's the next resistance target, obviously, to close that gap. And then we've got to work from this one backwards, and we know that this is the next support gap until filled. So let's take a look at a deeper chart. And some of these kind of disappear once you go to different time frames. So that's why you have to scale it down to really see them. And we can see, obviously, this is a gigantic leg down that has a substantial recovery to it. We know that we're in a downtrend line coming from that high. So this is the next resistance zone to be overcome. And then obviously these highs, this one over here, would be the next high, which is 309.25. And then this one up here, 336.75. And the next one. So these are your next resistance targets, obviously 366.75, the beast. And obviously on the way back down, we've got to look at these gaps as support till filled, and we'll take them one at a time. This guy right here is the primary support right now that you must undo. And then these lows right in here. So that's the current support zone right now. And let's take a look at a 60. And in a 60-minute, we can still see that we've got this downtrend line that we are approaching. So very important, in my opinion. And we've got this platform that was, at the time, a descending triangle, but then we've regained it. So this has got to be considered as support also until we undermine it. And you can see, even if we came back, that could be an inverted head and shoulders. Would that be, if we came back to this level, and that could be the head, and these could be the shoulders. So we need to keep an eye on that idea as we move forward as well. And if we scroll backwards, we can just see that trend line that I put on that extends back into July. So I think that's a very powerful downtrend line that we need to pay attention to this coming week. And see if we can shoot through it. And then on any pullbacks, hold that as a throwback line to continue going forwards. So that's what I'm looking at. Nothing fancy, just trying to do a little homework. You can't wait until the market opens to do your homework. You've got to do it ahead of time, and that way you're ready to participate. At least that's my opinion. And here's a yearly chart. We can just see how powerful this rebound was this last 6 days. Changed the whole complexion of what traders were thinking about. And I still think that downtrend line that I pointed out and that other chart, still something that we need to reckon with. And the idea will be to see if we can penetrate up above that or not. And this was a reasonable idea of a channel. So now that channel can be turned around, obviously, if we get continuation up. And then my guess would be that pullbacks will probably be bought in going into the next couple weeks into the Thanksgiving holiday. We shall see. For now, all we know is that these are our next potential resistance targets. Obviously, once we get a powerful move like this and you throw a ball up into the air and it gets at the apex, and then it can start to fall back down until we undermine, this last range bar, Friday's bar. And typically you can come back halfway without taking out the lows. So we need to really watch that last range and understand if we get continuation and then abandon Friday's high and come back in trying to find support. And so I'm going to keep my eye over here as well on the macro level, because that's the midpoint of box 7. So the green and yellow boxes right now are what we are, circles are, in my opinion, what is being fought. And we have found basic support so far back here at the 40 back. So this is a very shallow pullback on the NASDAQ. Typically you could get your 50s and 60s, and this didn't even get back 40%. So very shallow, and that begs to suggest that still a strong market. So we'll keep an eye on that. All I know is it's still an inside year. We've got a couple of months left, and we shall see what happens, but that's certainly an inside year until we take out the high of last year, and we've we've passed the middle from last year. So far so good for the bulls. This was a tough pullback for a lot of traders since July, and we're still in that channel by and large. So can we take out this head and shoulders top up here? I don't know, and I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to take it one day at a time, see what we can find intraday in the bigger picture. All right, I hope this helps you guys take a look at some of the things I'm thinking about, and hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend.